Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. You try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Under the nose of Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, we see a web of connections between them and those directly involved in the fraud. For example, Ilhan Omar alleged enabling introducing the 2020 Meals Act, which was ultimately subject to fraud, held a campaign victory party at the Safari restaurant. That's where one of the men who run that restaurant has associations to the convicted individuals. And then there's Tim Walz, House Oversight Investigation role in his role as governor. Or Keith Ellison, the Attorney General. His job is to enforce the law in Minnesota, but instead he's getting donations after meeting with the Feeding Our Future representatives. The Feeding Our Future, the biggest known yet part of this entire theft ring. The executive director of Black Lives Matter, by the way, over in Oklahoma City, has now been charged with wire fraud and money laundering. The organization raised...
You just can't make it up, you know. You just can't make it up, man. Put your hands behind your god doggone backs. This should be the #1 thing talked about, man. It needs more coverage, man. You know. But we must worry about the big bad orange man, the threat to democracy, the one who called it out all along ago. You know, the dictator, the big bad Hitler man, you know. And then it's called out. We talk about the Somalis, we talk about this and that, and once again, we're racist, we're Nazis, we're fascists, it's just a disgrace, man. But the truth will set many free. People ought to be walked out with their hands behind their back. And I don't give a damn if the man hurts your feelings. He said what he said, and he was right. It's just garbage down there. Filth. Taxpayers are hotter than fish grease. And if you're a U.S. taxpayer, you ought to be hotter than fish grease. I'm saying it again, man. And not just in Minnesota. We are just touching the surface on all this crap. And I told y'all, wait till we see what all else comes out and what all else is exposed. You know, just wait. I told y'all every single day is going to be something new. Every single month, it's going to be something new. Watch the bombshells that come out, that fly around, the bombshell news that comes out. People are going to drop their mouth to the jaw, to their jaw to the floor. Just watch.
More than $5 million in 2020, but she is accused of pocketing more than half of that instead of using it to bail out people for protesting in support of BLM. No, she pocketed, allegedly, most of that money. Oh, by the way,
Black Lives Matter. How many times have we reported on that on the show? Black Lives Matter. The BLM scam. Just can't make it up, man. But I say all lives matter. And Rick's the racist. Rick's this. Rick's the sellout. You know. I say all lives matter. You know.
here she is. You want to see a picture of her? Here she is. Notice who she's in the picture with. That's right. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. But hey, it's just the system, right? Let's bring in our spot.
You just can't make it up.
The last I heard of the total fraud amount, and they say this is just the tip of the iceberg, it's about $6 billion. And when you consider the fact that
$6 billion
money generated in Ilhan Omar's congressional district, my congressional district, and it went to so many people that she's associated with, and the FBI has already come out and said that Minneapolis is a hub for terrorist recruitment. So it's highly unlikely that no money made it overseas. I'm convinced that there's a lot of money there. And that's why the federal government right now is going to investigate it so we can find out who's responsible, who had the money, and how it was filtered.
Which brings me to addressing the failure of my governor, Tim Walz. We anxiously await Tim Walz's response to House Oversight Committee Chairman Jamie Comer regarding what he knew about the $1 billion in fraud. Walz has had 7 years to address and stop the fraud. It wasn't until President Trump made this a national issue that Walz started to pretend that he cares about his constituents' tax dollars supporting a terrorist group in Somalia. Accountability is coming, Governor. Our dishonest, failed governor must and will answer for his complete incompetence.
Who we're talking about, Abdimajid Mohammed Nur. He's going to spend the next 10 years, though, in federal lockup after investigators say he took part in a $48 million COVID-19 pandemic scam. So this was part of a meal fraud scam, Trace. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars that were meant to feed hungry American kids on a lot of different things. They took stacks and stacks of cash like you're looking at here. They were blown on luxury cars. Let's buy an Audi. Let's buy a waterfront property out in Minnesota. And if you have time, let's go to a private villa out in the Maldives. That would be nice. Well, that's what they did, according to prosecutors. They showed these video clips, Trace, of the fraudsters popping bottles of champagne out on that luxury getaway. Police say the men were happy to be cashing in. They were texting each other, "You're going to be the richest 25-year-old, God willing." What is being called the largest fraud scam in history? It happened on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's watch. Today, the Democrat who ran for vice president launched a fraud prevention program. Critics say that's a little too late. The White House has slammed him for failing not just his state of Minnesota, but the country. He pushed back.
You can't have one without the other. Any amount of fraud is too much. That's why over the last several years, we've made many systematic changes to state government to both detect fraud and hold those accountable after it happened. Year after year, we brought new ideas to the legislature to stay ahead of the evolving tactics, and they are evolving.
Okay, so it doesn't stop there, though.
We're now investigating Minnesota's massive Somali fraud scandal.
This is not brand new, and it's been being worked on.
This clown is blaming Trump for a massive scandal.
This is out of the words of a true beta. At the end of the day, if you're going to blame President Trump for everything, even the ills of your own state and the mismanagement of those medical funds, let's be honest here, this is your fault. And this is Ilhan Omar's fault. This is the federal government. It's also the state government failing Minnesota. And he sat there and really admitted it. And the idea that you're going to bring Trump in this, and President Trump has been the president for about 10 months now, is pretty ridiculous. This has been going on far before President Trump even got into office. This is their only playbook. They are still on the blame Trump playbook. And what they are still forgetting is that just 1 year ago, we won the House, we won the Senate, he won the presidency overwhelmingly, and they are still reeling as to how they're going to move forward. Again, this ship is rudderless. They have no leadership, and the only thing that they could do is blame Trump, even for their ills and for their own missteps.
And look, we're just gonna throw this one in there because we got some on the ground footage, you know. And again, we've showed many footages like this on the show of what's actually going on down there in Minnesota. And the people, the taxpayers, are fed up, hotter than fish grease. Tons have put their homes in these neighborhoods up for sale. They can't sell them, you know, and you know why? He said the house has been up for sale for a long time. It's like the man it's like they're trapped. It's just a disgrace, but we got some footage. Check this out, y'all.
Bitch ass nigga. Shit, I just get him out of here. Make America great again. I'm John Fitzgerald, and I am a mega. Make America great again. Get him the hell out of here. God
bless you, John. John, just, you know, and it's many others just like him, and I want to send my love and prayers to him, man. You know. They sick of this foolishness, man. And as a taxpayer down there, I know they are hotter than fish grease. You know, hot, and I think every taxpayer in America ought to be hotter than fish grease, in my opinion. Not just Minnesota.
Get him the hell out of here.
You hear the way these guys are talking to him.
Yeah, no, I want him gone. I want him out of here. They are the most unfriendly. We live right across the street from them. And there's been times where this whole cul-de-sac has been completely lined with Mercedes, BMWs.
This is how they talk. Second generation.
Come here! Hey! I'm right here though!
Unbelievable. This is the problem. You got the second, third generation here. You invited them in, invite the illegals in, and then they have kids that hate this country, or taught to hate this country. And then you got neighbors living right across the street that have to deal with it.
There might be repercussions for me because, but 15, 20, 25 know where I live. I ain't afraid.
Yeah.
Not backing down.
If you could say something to President Trump to tell him, what would you tell him?
President Trump, start with Ilhan Omar, get her out of here, and drag all of this business here, get them out of here.
Get them the hell out.
Yeah, we're Americans. Yeah.
So I noticed you've got a for sale sign out here. How much of that decision has to do with illegals and the Somalis that are here in the neighborhood?
Oh, a lot. It's a major part of our reason why we want to get out of here. I'm wondering, it's been a little over a year now that we've been on the market. Can't sell, hasn't sold. I have to ask, why not? This is a beautiful neighborhood, except for that.
With your tax dollars.
Yeah, my tax dollars and your tax dollars, and anybody who's listening to this and who sees this, it's your money too. And there it is.
What do you think of your governor and your mayor?
Oh, it's another reason why we're leaving. We just get us out of here. I mean, I hate to feel like I'm the one that needs to leave, but that's how I feel. I'm the one that needs to leave. Jeez.
That's sad.
Very sad. Very sad. Trump, get Ilhan out. Ilhan Omar, get her out of here. Chief O'Hara, our police will not assist ICE. What the hell is this? I mean, what's going on? And those 6 people in Congress,
Those seditious 6
don't obey illegal orders from the president. Jesus. I mean, you want insurrection? I feel like it's starting in my neighborhood, right across from my house.
God bless that man. I love how he called out those seditious 6 Democrats. That I'm telling you, man, they should be somewhere in a cell right now.
I'm standing out here in shorts and a short shirt, and man, I tell you what,
Well, you have been following with us the Ilhan Omar saga and the Somali fraud that has really been rampant in the state of Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz and the Attorney General Keith Ellison. Now, all 3 of those Democrats are implicated in the Somali fraud scandal, and we're going to break down the latest developments because, well, Treasury Secretary Bessent said he was tracking the money, and some of it went directly to Ilhan Omar. But we're going to get into the story shortly. Before we do, please like, share. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's tracked the money that was stolen by Somalis in Minnesota. And some of this money, according to a report, went directly into the campaign coffers of Ilhan Omar. This is not a surprise. Let's take a look at the tape.
Bessent saying he was asked last week to investigate whether Minnesota's tax dollars made its way to terrorist organizations linked to Somalia.
That money has gone overseas, and we are tracking that both to the Middle East and to Somalia.
Minnesota is currently dealing with multiple fraud scandals totaling over $1 billion in stolen taxpayer funds, including nearly $300 million from the nonprofit Feeding Our Future. Omar's campaign receiving donations from people charged in that scheme, donations she says have since been returned.
We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. We send that money back.
Now, the House Oversight Committee announcing last week it's also opening an investigation into the fraud in Minnesota. Chairman James Comer saying whistleblowers were ignored.
That this fraud was taking place and that both the Attorney General and the Governor of Minnesota turned a blind eye to it.
And House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says that he has whistleblowers who are fingering Tim Walz and Keith Ellison for ignoring this Somali fraud scandal. Now, in particular, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is also not only involved with Somali fraudsters, looking the other way towards evidence of wrongdoing. But he is involved in his own scandal. It has been revealed that his son took $110,000 and $57,000 in living expenses from the Minnesota City Council while attending Harvard.
This morning, Jeremiah Ellison was among the outgoing city council members to get an honorary resolution for their years of service.
So I give my gratitude to the North Side.
But one issue not mentioned, where he's been the final 5 months of his term. Harvard University as a Loeb Fellow. Our Jay Coles first broke this story this summer, and it caught some off guard.
His Ward 5 constituents deserve a council member who shows up.
Ellison is splitting his time between here and Cambridge, Massachusetts. He's still earning his $110,000 city salary on top of a $57,000 stipend from Harvard. Now 5 Investigates has obtained these internal emails showing Ellison's office wanted more. They requested the Ward 5 budget to cover travel expenses, specifically round-trip travel between Minneapolis and Boston, so Ellison could attend city council meetings every other week from August to the end of the year. In response to Ellison's request, the city clerk acknowledged the prestigious program, but said it's a personal professional development opportunity, and travel for this purpose is not allowed.
It's very disconcerting.
We sat down with 2 very engaged Ward 5 residents.
As a retired math teacher, I can't imagine asking my students to pay for me to commute to and from school. We are his constituents.
I also am glad that the city rejected that request.
Ellison has long maintained he can do both, even from afar. But fellow council members kicked him off most committees. Here's what he told our Eric Shalou in September.
You'll certainly see me at council meetings, barring some kind of emergency, but you'll certainly see me at full council.
But our review of council attendance records shows he's missed 5 of the 11 meetings ever since he's accepted that Harvard fellowship.
Now, I was at that city council this morning, that meeting, but was only able to talk to Ellison via text message, where he called this story flimsy, a hit piece, and refused to do an interview unless I could prove that this was somehow in the public's interest. By the way, he appeared to defend that request, saying the travel was related to his urban planning related education and urban planning related job. His term ends in January. Live at City Hall, Ryan Raish, 5 Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
This is really insane. Weigh in with your thoughts about this Minnesota scandal. How is Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, and Ilhan Omar still in office? Why aren't they handcuffed? Why aren't they behind bars? It's a burning question on a lot of our minds. Thank you very much for watching.
What a disgrace.